Good morning students, I am PR Chagule. In the last lecture of the object oriented programming using C++, we are discussed the various points as introduction to C++. In this point we discussed the history of the C++ language and discussed why C++ is popular language. Then we are discussed the features of C++ language. There are number of features provided by C++. Because of that features, the C++ language is more popular. Then next we were seeing the basic structure of C++ program. Means in this we are discussed the basic structure of any C++ program. Any C++ program can contain these four parts. First part is include files. Second, class declaration. Third, member function definition. And last is defining main function. These are the four basic components while doing any C++ program. Then we were seeing the first C++ program for displaying the message hello world. The hello world message is displayed by using output statement as cout. By using cout output statement, we displayed the hello world message. Then we were seeing how to give the comments for any program. There are two types of comment present in C++. First one is the line comment. It is also called as single line comment, and second one is the block comment, and block comment is also known as multi-line comment. Then we started the basics of C++. In the basics we seen the character set. The C++ character set contains the letters, digits, special symbols as well as different white spaces. Next we were discussed tokens present in C++. Token is nothing but the smallest unit of a program. There are different types of tokens present in any C++ program as a keywords, identifiers, constants, string, operators and special symbols. These all are the tokens in C++ language. Then we were seeing the keywords present in C++ program. Then we were discussed identifiers in C++, rules for identifier. Then we are discussed Then we are discussed variables in C++, rules for defining a variable. Then we are discussed how to define a particular variable in C++ for defining any variable. The syntax is first you want to specify the data type, then you want to give the variable name. Then we were seeing how to initialize a particular value to variable by using assignment operator. You can assign the particular value to the variable. Then in this lecture we will start next point as a constant. Constant in C++ refer to fixed values that do not change during the execution of a program. Constant is nothing but a fixed value that do not change during the execution of a program. The constant are also called as literals. Constant are also known as literals. The constants in C++ is divided into two types. First one is the numeric constant and second one is the non-numeric constant. Numeric constant is again divided into two types, integer constant and second one is the real constant. And non-numeric constant is divided into two types, character constant and string constant. Then examples of constant. The numeric constant is divided into two types, integer constant and floating point constant. First we will see what is integer constant. Integer constant refers to integer valued numbers. Integer constant refers to integer valued numbers. They can be represented by three different number system. There are different number system available in maths. First, decimal number system. For example, 63. 63 is a decimal constant. Next, decimal number having the base 10. Next, octal. Octal constants are preceded by 0. Octal constants are always preceded by 0. This is an example of octal integer constant. And next, hexadecimal numbers. Here is the hexadecimal number. In hexadecimal number, hexadecimal constants are represented by or the preceded by 0x or 0x. Hexadecimal numbers are always started or preceded by 0x. This is an example of hexadecimal integer constant. The integer constant is again divided into three types because integer numbers can be represented in three different ways in mathematics, in decimal, octal and hexadecimal. Next one is the floating point constant. Floating point constant refers to real number, that is a number with decimal point. Floating point numbers having the decimal point. By using decimal points, the floating point numbers are represented. For example, 20.23 minus 64.31. These are the floating point constants example. Next, non-numeric constant. Non-numeric constant, character constant can have either single character or group of characters or character with backslash used for special purpose. In that, non-numeric constant is again divided into two part, single character constant. Single character constant means what? A character constant is a character which is enclosed in a single quote. Means any character or the set of character is enclosed in a single inverted comma is known as single character constant. And next one is the string constant. String constant means what? A string constant is a collection of characters enclosed in a double quotations, means double inverted comma. Means a string or the collection of characters that is enclosed in a double inverted comma is a string constant. Means SIT, enclosed in a double inverted comma, is a string constant. This is all about constant. Then next point is the data types. What is the data type? A data type determines the type and the operation that can be performed on the data. Data type defines or the determines type and the operation that can be performed on the data. there are different types of data types provided in C++. C++ data type can be mainly categorized in three types. First, user defined data type. In user defined data type, there is a structure, union, class and enumeration is there. Next, built-in data type, inbuilt data type, integral type, in-depth integral type, integer and character is there. Next, void. Next, floating point. In floating point, float and double is there. And last type is derived type. And in derived type, there is an array, function, pointer and reference. This is and different types of data types present in C++ language. First, we will see built-in data type. These are the all built-in data types. Built-in data types are atomic data type, which is not composed of other data types. Means built-in data types are atomic data type. C++ compilers support all the built-in and built-in data types, also called as basic or fundamental data types, and that are shown in this figure. For example, char means character is a built-in data type. Next, unsigned char, signed char, integer, unsigned integer, signed integer, short integer. These all are the built-in data types present in C++ language. Next is the user defined data type. In that user defined data types, user has the facility in the programming language to create data types according to his or her own needs. As per the user requirements, these data types were used in C++ language. In that, first user defined data type is the structure. These all user defined data types we are detailed study in next units, but in short we will see what are the user defined data types. First, structure. A structure is a group of variables of different data types considered as a user defined data types. A structure is a group of variables of different data types. Structure is a group of variables, but that variables can have different data types. Its structure and array are different. The basic difference between the structure and array is the array contains the grouping of variables or group of elements, but that having the similar data types. But structure is a group of variables that having the different data types. To create a structure, use the struct keyword and followed by a name of structure, and it is terminated by a semicolon. A structure can be created as following syntax. There is a syntax for creating a structure in C++. First, struct keyword is used. Then we want to give here a structure name. Then in opening and curly bracket, opening and closing curly bracket, here different variables are defined. For example, here student structure is created having name and phone number variables. Struct student, and that student structure we are defined two variables, name and phone number. and for these we using here structure, because name having a different data type and phone number having a different data type. So here we using here a structure. Next user defined data type is a class. In C++, a class is a user defined data type. We already seen the class concept is an basics or in fundamental terms while studying the fundamental terms of object oriented programming. A class acts as a template which defines data and functions that are included in an object of a class. Class defines a data and functions. Classes are declared using a keyword class. Once a class has been declared, its object can be easily created. Once you define any class, then you can easily create object or the number of object of that particular class. For example, here student class is created by using class keyword. Syntax is what for declaring a class? Class keyword, then we want to give here the class name. Here student class is created, class student. Then here different data members, class having two attributes, data members and member function. Here two data members are declared, one data member is declared, character name, and then here for displaying name, display member function is used, and in that display function we displayed the name. This is a class, simple structure of a class. Next user defined data type is the enumerated. It is a user defined data type which provides a way for attaching name to the numbers. Means the enum keyword, means enumerated, enum keyword automatically enumerates a list of words by assigning them 0, 1, 2 and so on. Means in short, enumeration or enum is a user defined data type in C, and it is mainly used to assign names to integer constant. The names make a program easy to read and maintain. Means the enum keyword automatically enumerates a list of words by assigning the integer value that is started from 0, 1, 2 and so on. For example, for creating enumeration data type, we are using enum keyword, then provided by using tag we can assign different members here. For example, here enum for colors tag is created. In that colors we are assigning the variables as black, green, red, yellow and blue. So next for black there is an, by using the enum for the black color there is an 0 constant. For the green color there is an 1 as a constant. For red color there is an 2 as a constant. This is an enumerator or enumeration. Means in short, if you are creating an application that has a fixed number of types for some variables, then you can use enumerated or enum data type for that particular application. Then next one is the union. Next user defined data type is the union. Unions are another user-defined data type in C++ that provide a way to group of data items of same or different types together into a single unit. But unions uses the same memory as other objects from a list of objects. At an instance, it contains only a single object. Means the members of a union share the same memory location. The structure and union both are the container data types that can hold data of any type. Both structure and unions can hold the different data types together. But there isn't one major difference between structure and union is that the structure has a separate memory location for each of its member, whereas the members of a union share the same memory location. The structure and union both concepts are same, but the structure variables can allocate different memory for different variables, whereas union allocates the same memory for different members. The syntax for declaring structure and union is same. For example, for defining union, first you want to use union keyword, then here you want to give union name, then in opening bracket and closing bracket in between that you want to provide the members, data members, and last here is an object name. For example union is created in that different variables are declared. First variable is of integer type, second is of character type, and third is for float type. These are grouped together into a union example. This is an union. Next, derived data types. Derived data types present in C++. The data types which are extracted or derived from a fundamental or built-in data types are called as derived data type. What is meant by derived data type? The data types which are extended or extracted or derived from basic data type as an built-in data types are known as derived data types. There are 4 derived data types present in C++. First one is an array, second function, third pointer, and fourth one is an references. Let us see one by one. First is an array. As you already know what is an array. Array is a group of similar data type variables that are referred to by the same name. In array, you can group the same data type elements together. To use an array, we need to declare the array with array name, a data type, and size or the length. For defining any array, you need 3 parameters. First one is the array name, second data type of that particular array, and third you want to specify the size or the length of an array. Here syntax is shown: data type, then array name, and next length or the size of that particular array. For example, here mark array is created. Array is created for mark. The data type of that particular array is integer. Total size of that particular array is 60. Means this declare an integer array of mark with 60 element. This is the concept of array. Next, function. Functions are also called as method, function performs the predefined task or function performs the operation. Let us see what is the function. A function is a discrete block of statement that perform a certain task. Function contain a block of statement and that statements performs a defined task. Means function contains number of statements which are performing a certain task. A function is a self-contained program segment that carries out specific well-defined task. Means function performs a defined or the well-defined task. Once a function has been written to play a particular role, it can be called upon repeatedly throughout the program. Means once you define any function, then you can call that particular function repeatedly number of times in our program. A function must be declared before its use. First, you want to declare the function, then you can only use that particular function. Such a declaration is known as function prototype and it ends with a semicolon. Declaration of function is called as function prototype. How to define a particular function? There is one syntax. First, you want to specify the return type of that particular function, then the function name, and next the function parameters are here, and function prototypes end with the semicolon. This is an function definition. While defining any function in C++, there is one syntax. First, you want to specify return type, then you want to give the function name here, and last one is the for that function required parameters. Here you can pass the parameters. For example, max function is defined. The return type of that max function, I define the data type as a integer. Here function name is here, and next parameters, and the function parameters are separated by the comma. Next derived data type is the pointer. A pointer, you know the pointer. A pointer is a variable that can store the memory address of another variable. Pointer variable stores the address of another variable. A pointer declaration consists of base type and asterisk symbol and the variable name. For creating any pointer, you want to first specify data type, then asterisk symbol, next pointer variable name. PTVAR is a pointer variable. For example, here float pointer I is defined. This is an float pointer. For example, I want to define an integer pointer, then I create the pointer as integer asterisk symbol I. This creates an integer pointer. This is a pointer. Next derived data type is an references. References, the name itself suggests, a reference is an alternative name for a variables. That is, a reference is an alias for a variable in a program. References provides the alternative variable name. Means a reference to a variable is created using the address of operator. When you are using address of operator in a program, then you can create reference to that particular variable. A variable and its reference can be used interchangeably in program as both refer to the same memory locations. Hence, changes made to any of them are reflected in the other. Means here take an example. First we will see syntax for creating references. First you want to specify data type, next address of operator, next referenced, here you want to specify referenced variable name, and here is an variable name. For example, here one variable is declared of integer type a, which having a value 20. Integer a is equals to 20. Next, by using address of operator, we assign or we give the reference to the another variable b. See an example. Where a is an variable name and b references to a variable. Next, we will see what are the operators present in C++. Operator, there are different types of operator present in C++. First, we will see what is an operator. An operator is a symbol which causes the compiler to take an action. Operator is an symbol. Operator is a one type of symbol that causes the compiler to take an action. An operator instructs C++ to perform some operation. Means operator says the C++ to perform the operation. And for operation, there we need one or more operands. An operand is a something that can operator acts on. For example, there is an expression z is equals to x plus y, where plus is an operator while x and y are the operands. Here addition operation is performed. In that addition operation, plus is an operator and x and y are the operands. There are different types of operators present in C++. Arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, conditional operators, assignment operators, bitwise operators, and other operators. First, there is an arithmetic operators. In arithmetic operators, there are two parts, unary and binary. Plus, minus, plus, plus, minus, minus, star, division, modulus, plus, minus. These are all are the arithmetic operator. Let us see operators one by one. First is an arithmetic operator. Arithmetic operators are used to do basic arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. These all are the arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are used for doing basic mathematical operation like plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus, etc. For example, addition, the operator for addition is plus. Addition operator is used for to find sum of two or more operands. For example, a plus b, where a having 10 value, b having 5 value, then addition is equals to 15. These all are the arithmetic operators. Next, relational operator. You know already these operators, just I revise the operators. The relational operators in C++ refers to the relationship that values can have with one another. Means relational operators are used to compare two values or expressions to evaluate the relationship. Means relational operators are used for comparing the two values or for comparing the two operations. For example, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, not equal to. These all are the relational operator. For example, less than operator, this operator is used to check if the value of one variable is less than to another variable. If I want to check the value of one variable is less than the particular value, then this less than operator is used. For example, a less than 20. This expression will return value 1 if the condition is true. Means a's value, if a's value is less than 20, then only it returns the 1. Means this is a true statement. This example returns the true. This way all these are the relational operators. Just see. Next one is the logical operators. Logical operators in C++ combines the result of two or more than two expressions. Logical operators combines the result of two or more expressions. For example, there are three logical operators present in C++: and, or, and not. Logical operator and, double and symbol is used for logical operator, and single and is used for bitwise operators. Bitwise and logical operators are different. They perform the different tasks. First we will see the and operator in logical operator. The logical and return true if the conditions are true. It means logical operators are used for combines the result of more than two expression. Means let us take example. There is an expression a is greater than 20, and for joining two condition I use and operator, and b is less than 6. It will result 0 as both conditions are not true. It will return 0 means both conditions are false. Next, or is used for to return true if at least one of the condition is true. For and operation there must be two conditions must be true. Here at least one condition must be true. For example, a less than 20 or b greater than 6. At least one condition returns a true value between both. It will return 1 at least one of the condition is true. Let us check. A is less than 20. Yes, true. B is greater than 6, false. But or tells that any one of the condition will be true. So it is true. Next, not. Not is used for negation, to negate the value of the relational expression. This is an unary operator. Not a less than 20. It will return 0 as the negated value. These all are the logical operators. Next, assignment operator. Assignment operators that are used to assign the operator on the left the value on the right. The basic assignment operator is equal to symbol or equal to operation. Means assignment value operator is used for assigning the value, and value assignment is from left side to right side. Means right side to left side. Means right side operand's value is assigned to the left side operand. For example, C is equals to A plus B. Equal to is an basic assignment operator. For example, C's expression is C is equals to A plus B. Then it will assign the A plus B's result to C. Means 15 value is assigned to the variable C. Next, there are different formats for assigning the values to the variable. You check all these operators. You pause this video and read all the operators, all types of equal to operators. You pause the video and you see. Next one is the bitwise operator. Bitwise operators in C++ are referred to testing, setting or shifting the actual bits in the byte or word which correspond to the character and integer data types and variants. Means bitwise operators are used for manipulating the integers at bit level. Means these are all are the bitwise operators. Means and, or, exclusive or, XOR, shift left, shift right and complement or not. These all are the bitwise operator. Here AND operator is used for to perform logical AND operation at bit level. You know the truth table of AND. You already learn the truth table. Means and what is the AND truth table? 0 0 0, 0 1 0, 1 0 0 and 1 1 1. Means both bits 1, then result will 1, otherwise result will 0. Means here bit level AND operation, here 1 1 1, 1 0 0, 0 1 0, 0 0 0. The result is here is an A's binary form, here is an B's format binary form, and AND operation of A and B's result is here. Same way OR, see the truth table of OR. Next, see the truth table of XOR. Shift left means to shift the bits to the left by 1 digit. See here result, shift left shift by 1. Result is then 0 0 1 1 1 0 1 0 0. And for right shift there is an result 0 0 0 0 1 0 1 1. And for complement or not bitwise operator. Not operator is used for negate or negate each bit level of binary, each bit of the binary number. Means 0, the bit of 0 is represented as 1. The bit 0 is represented as 1. 0 is represented 1 and 1 is represented as 0. So result is 1110. Means here each 1 is represented as 0 and each 0 is represented as 1 in NOT or complement by using NOT or complement operator. Next, last operator is the conditional operator. The conditional operator is also called as ternary operator. Conditional operator is also called as ternary operator. It operates on 3 operands. Conditional operator requires 3 operands. So it is called as ternary. Ternary means 3. Ternary means 3. So it requires 3 operands for performing the operation. And it is represented by question mark and colon. There is an syntax for declaring the conditional operator. Here is an condition expression, then give the question mark, then first expression, and then after colon there is an second expression. In this syntax, the condition expression is evaluated first. First, this expression will be evaluated. This expression will be executed. And if true, if the result of this expression gets true, then expression 1 will be evaluated. Otherwise, if the expression result is, if this expression result is false, then expression 2 will be evaluated. Conditional operator is also known as ternary operator, and for ternary operator it requires 3 operands. Syntax for defining conditional operator is condition. After the condition there is an expression. After expression there is a question mark. After question mark there is an first expression, then colon, and then second expression. In this format, first the condition expression is evaluated, and the result of expression, if it is true, then only expression 1 will be executed, and if the expression result will be false, then second expression will be executed. For example, here one variable of float type defined which having a 15 values, and another 2 variables are declared B and C. Here conditional operator is shown where, and conditional expression is A is whether A is less than 20, then B is equals to 50. Next expression is C is equals to 100. So here first this condition expression is executed whether A less than 20. Yes, this results true. So expression 1 will be executed, means here B having a 50 value. So 50 value is assigned to the B. This is a conditional operator. Suppose here A is less than 6. Consider here is an example, A is less than 6. Then it executes the expression 2. This is an conditional operator.